On this lesson, we're going to begin working on our infographic in Adobe Illustrator. So first thing we're going to do is create a new document, and if you don't know how to create one, I'm going to teach you very quickly how. You're going to go here to File, New, or press Ctrl N on your keyboard. And once you do that, a window like this should pop up. I'm using the latest version of Illustrator CC, but if you are using a previous version, this information should be the same, just arranged on a different layout. I'm going to make sure that I'm selecting a web preset. And the reason why I select the web preset is because we're going to be displaying this infographic on a screen or probably on a website or something like that, but it's always going to be on a screen. So I'm going to make sure that I'm using pixels as my unit and select my color mode to be RGB. Then I'm going to make one that is big enough, so around 5,000 by 5,000. And the reason why I recommend you to use a very big resolution or canvas is because you're going to have a lot of space to work on instead of working on a smaller one. And even though this is going to be vector artwork, and at the end it really doesn't matter if you make them bigger or smaller, it is better that you work on a bigger resolution so you have a lot of place to work on your canvas and not working on a very small space. And then you're going to hit create. I have already created mine, so I'm going to skip this step. So first thing I'm going to do is select my colors. I had already selected mine in advance to save time, but again, as we discussed, the reason why I picked these colors is because I want my colors to reflect my topic, and in this case my topic is smile. It's a very simple topic that I don't necessarily think that should be only for a particular audience. So I'm going to pick basically primary and secondary colors, and the reason why I do this is because I think my theme is simple enough, so I want to use simple colors, and I want to use bright. I don't want to use colors that are overly saturated or bright, because I don't want it to look like a circus or something that is for kids. I want this to be fun but still have something of seriousness so that people understand this is a research that I did. So first thing I'm going to do is go here to my tools panel, and here I'm going to select the rectangle tool or press M on my keyboard, and then I'm going to make a rectangle, and it really doesn't matter if your rectangle is bigger than your canvas. And I'm going to remove the stroke because I don't need it, and fill it with this green color. And then I'm going to rename my layer here, or my layers, because this is a good habit that you should always have, to name your layers. And I'm going to call this background, and then I'm going to create a new layer, clicking here, and I'm going to name this layer content, because in this layer is where I'm going to place my content. And one thing I'm going to do is click here right next to the eye to add lock, and that way I'm not going to be able to accidentally move my background or make it smaller, anything. So this is a great thing to do in case you're not going to be moving something. Then I'm going to go to the content layer, and in this one I'm going to begin working on my infographic. So first thing we're going to create, as we discussed before, is going to be my title. And to do that, I'm going to go here to my type tool or press T on my keyboard and click. And right now you cannot see it because it's really small, but if I increase the size around 200 points, you're going to see that by default this version of Illustrator fills the text, well, gives me a sample text, but I'm going to change this to my actual title, that is the importance of a good smile. Oh, sorry, mistake there. And this is going to be my title. Now again, as we discussed before, we're going to make sure that our title stands out and is the first thing that people sees when looking at our infographic. So one thing that I think in titles works well is to make it all caps. So instead of me rewriting this again all in all caps, I can simply go here to character and click there and press on this button that says all caps, and now I have all caps. And if you want to access these tools, you can do it like that, or you can go window, type, and then character, or Ctrl T on your keyboard, and you're going to access all these options here. I like to do this because at just one glance I can see the different options that I can do with my type, instead of just going here and making them appear over and over again. Now, the same as before, we're gonna choose a font that works well for a header, or in this case the title. So I picked this font called Jala 1, and the reason why I picked that one is because I think it has good weight. It is and I think it would really stand out as a title, so I picked this font. And now I think that my title shouldn't be just here on the center and be boring. I think it should only occupy a place here on my canvas. So I'm going to break this title by double clicking and access the text, or you can go to your type tool. So I'm going to put the importance on one line, then of a good on one line, and then a smile on the next line. And then one thing that I like to do is make each line as big as the one on top. So I'm going to increase the font size, and you can do it by inputting a value here, or you can move these arrows to the up or down. And if you press shift while you go up, you're going to move in increments of 10. And this is good, especially when you're moving a lot or making this bigger. Now I'm going to make it as big as that, and then I'm going to do the same with the smile. I'm going to make it big enough, and I think around there. And now I don't like this space between these lines, and this is called leading. So I'm going to select both of these lines and try to remove the space, or actually remove this space. So if you go here, you're going to find the set the leading, and the leading is this distance between these lines. So I'm going to decrease this number to, in this case I'm gonna select both of these and try to make it bigger around there, I think. And then I'm going to select of a good and the importance and do the same. Remove the space around there, and again, if you press shift while you do that, you're going to do it faster. I think this can be a little bit bigger, and then probably smile again could be a little bit bigger. And now I have my title. Now another thing that is important, another tip that I can give you, is that the first thing that I want people to see when they see this infographic is the word smile. So I'm going to make it white so it stands out, and then I'm going to make the importance of a good on this dark blue. So now the first thing you see when you read this text is a smile, which is exactly what I want to do because it's what this infographic is going to be about. Now I'm going to zoom in, pressing Ctrl+, and to separate my title from the background, I'm going to select this, and while I select it and move it, I'm going to press Alt on my keyboard to make a copy, and make a copy that is to the left and down, and then I'm going to release it, and I'm going to make all these letters with this darker green. And then I'm going to go right click, arrange, send to back. And then I'm going to move it. You can move it with the arrows or with your selection tool, and around there where you think it's good. I think that probably there it's okay. So one last recommendation is that if you move this, the other one is not going to move. So you should always group elements that are going to be always moving with the others. So I'm going to select everything and press Ctrl G, or you can go here to Object, Group. And with this, you're going to have your title. And just as before, if you want to edit something, you can just double click to access the group. And if you want to go outside the group, you can select this arrow or double click outside the group. So you can access the individual contents of a group. And with this, you're going to have your title. And on the next lesson, we're going to be creating an illustration that goes along with your title.